Namaste and welcome to Times Health Plus. I'm Miss Vinita Sakpal, a senior nutritionist and a yoga teacher from the Yoga Institute, here to guide you all on a new topic, which is food for healthy joints. So, if you remember, in the last session, we had a word about bones, right? So, joints and bones are related to each other, and that's how the today's topic is in a continuity of the last topic, right? If you have attended the last session, you all must have remembering that I have given you a task, right, to do something that will help your bones. So have you all ever have you all tried these tasks in this 1 week, and did you see any sort of change in yourself? Please write it down in the comment section. Let's see how much who you have taken that kind of charge, where you have become little serious about your health, little serious about your lifestyle, and even one habit, if you have changed or you have incorporated any one new thing into your routine, even that is a good initiative. So if you have done, please write it in the comment section. Meanwhile, good morning to everyone. Glad that everyone has taken up that charge that Saturday morning we will sit and we'll learn something new. So great, welcome. Okay, so let's see in today's session what we are going to majorly talk about. It is all about joints. So there are certain misunderstanding about joints, like is it related to bones, or bones are related to joints, or bones and joints are same, or what are things that is required for joint health, that we are going to understand in today's session. Okay, so today we'll be understanding how usually joint pains occur, and for that what all things are required in terms of food, what to eat, what not to eat, how lifestyle has a direct connection with the joint pain, or why we are experiencing this joint pain in the early life also, right? It is not that something will happen only in the older age, it can happen in the early age also, and I think we can see this change now in this era also, right? So if anybody who are suffering from any sort of pain, can you write in the comment section? Let me see. Write in your comment section if you have any sort of pain. It can be knee pain, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, heel pain, whatever pain. Just put it down for the put in your comment section. Okay, for the personal Q&A sessions regarding the today's topic also, we have a Q&A section where we will surely have a detailed conversation. Initially, let's understand the topic more in detail. While the explanation, I think you will also get your queries resolved. Okay, fine. Yes, so Anjali ji says knee pain. Okay, Ashwin ji says back pain. Okay, back and neck pain. So most of the people, I guess, are having some sort of pain in their body, right? And if you see, it is not something that you will reach to your 50s and 60s, then only these all bone pain and joint pain will start uh, aggravating. No, nowadays even a person who is in 20s, 30s, 40s, even they are having this kind of pains, right? So any pain, specifically like knee pain, back pain, neck pain, or spine pain, is all because of a joint. Okay, so first we will understand what are joints. Joints are basically a connection between two bones. They are a mediocre where they connect the two bones together, right? Bones are in a particular shape, they cannot change their shape, they cannot be flexible, but joints are such which keeps this bone flexible, right? If we want to relax and contract our hands, we need a joint in between, right? We need a joint in between. So when the joint is present, it is helping bones to move freely, right? So joints connect your two bones together and give you flexibility or give you movement, right? When you walk, when you sit, when you bend, when you twist, even when you twist, there is a movement that is happening of your bones, right? That is only because there is joints in between, right? So if you see your spine, how is your spine? All the vertebrae are on each other, right? And then there is a disc between each vertebra. Why this disc is there? To keep your spine moving very easily. So when you bend, when you twist yourself, when you go forward, when you go backward, whatever the movement you are doing, the joints are the one which is moving your bones in a particular direction. So movement, flexibility, and of course it also absorbs certain jerks, certain shocks, certain stress that we give on our body. So if you are suddenly climbing the steps vigorously, very fast, then it's a pressure on particular bone, right? So joints are the one which are absorbing this pressure. Okay, secondly, if you are running suddenly, you have started running suddenly and you are running very vigorously, that pressure is also being taken up by the joints, right? When you sit down, when you wake up, when you move, when you do certain kind of twistings, everywhere there is certain jerks. If certain jerks are been given to your bones, it has been handled by the joints. Okay, so joints are different from your bones. They are the supporting, they are the one which supports the bones. So where you find this joint? You find in a knee, you find in a shoulder, you find in your hip joint is also there, and then you find in your complete spinal area, right from your cervical till your um, coccyx areas. Okay, so this whole spine is also having joints in between each vertebrae. Okay, fine. Now let's see what are the common problem in the joint. Okay, now everyone just said in the comment section that they have knee pain, shoulder stiffness, they have neck pain. Why these things are happening currently? Why initially it used to have in a later age, people used to say this happens because you have aged, but now we are all suffering from some or the other pain. No one can sit in a one place for longer duration, right? There is again a stiffness in your body, in your shoulder, in your neck, or near your lower back. So everywhere the pain starts aggravating. Why this is happening? This is happening because over the years we have changed our lifestyle. We have chosen a convenience lifestyle where we want everything handy, we want easy to work, if we want we keep our task very easy, right? People used to do all their home chores by themselves along with the working hours. along with their own jobs, right? But now we keep maids, we keep more convenient foods at home, we bring ready made items at home so that your cooking becomes more quickly. In this whole process, the choice of the foods are going wrong, the physical activity has reduced, the even relaxation days have been reduced. Even on Sundays, people are planning to clean their house, or people are planning to go out and not rest, right? So somehow we are not giving that rest to our bones and joints, to our complete body. We are not using the right type of movement, right? So because of lifestyle change, these all complaints have been seen in the early age also, right? Okay, now tell me, who have experienced that cracking sound when you walk, when you climb, when there is sudden movements, there is a cracking sound in your bones. So if this is that is often been seen in yourself, that means somehow the dietary part is also not that sufficient. You might be deficient into multiple things that is affecting your joint health. Okay, fine. Okay. One person is saying, of course, age, obesity, lack of exercise, and wrong food. Absolutely. These are all the reasons that are related to the common joint pains that we are experiencing. Okay, fine. Yes, so clicking in his shoulder. So what is happening when your shoulders are, the movement is getting stiff? That means somehow the joint between the two sockets is abrupted, is not getting right type of massage. It's stiff. It's the movements are very less over there. So that could be also one of the reason for the shoulder stiffness. Okay, now let's see what could be the major reason for all these joints pain. Okay, so number one could be the inflammation. What is inflammation? Inflammation is basically, there are two types of inflammation: a heat that is gently being produced inside your body to heal particular thing or to digest particular thing. If it's in a right moderate amount, body accepts that inflammation. But the heat is aggravating inside your body. One of the area is more heated compared to the other area, then the area which is affected or infected is called as inflamed area, because from that heat produced, you are experiencing certain sort of pains. So whenever there is a knee pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, lower back pain, any sort of pains, that pain is not simply because there is some jerk has happened. It could be that there is some inflammation over there. There is a heat aggravated to that particular area and infected, that has led to this kind of joint pain. Okay, when there is a pressure on it, when something wrong is going since longer duration, then the inflammation keeps on aggravating. Okay, so that could be one of the reason. Number two could be the poor diet. Now what exactly a poor diet could be, that we'll be learning in the next slides. But a diet which is lacking with good nutrient supply, that is also responsible for such kind of pains in our body. Okay, number three is a weak muscle. Now how your muscles become weak? If a person who is not consuming proteins in his diet sufficiently, if a person who is not doing any sort of physical movement or physical activity in a day, that person is not building up the muscles, he is wasting its muscle, right? And therefore fat is getting accumulated more. If a fat mass is going high and a muscle mass is going less in your body, your bones and your joints are not getting protecting cover. Muscles are always a cover, a protecting cover for your bones and your joints. So if muscles are only shrinking in your body or it's going down, then how the shock or a stress or sudden movement that we do will support your joints and bones? No, it will never do that, right? So if muscles are weak, even that could be one of the reason for the joint pain. Okay, number four could be overweight, obesity, excess weight. If a person who has increased his weight more than the ideal weight, going towards the obesity stages, that means that person is putting a pressure on a joint. because of heavy weight, because of heavy fat mass, what is happening, there is a pressure on your joints, because when you walk you are carrying that heavy weight along with you. Initially you will not feel anything, but over the time you will feel heavy while walking, you will feel tired, you will feel breathless, you will feel some pressure is coming on your leg, you cannot walk fast when you experience excess weight, right? So even obesity or overweight is a condition which can lead to joint pains. Okay. And lastly, sedentary lifestyle. So what happens in sedentary lifestyle? You are always sitting on a desk for longer hours, right? You once you sit on a desk with a laptop or a computer or any other screens, you just keep on continuing that particular task for hours and hours, like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, and you get up hardly once in this whole 8 to 9 hours, right? So if the body is not moving at all, staying in that same position for longer hours makes your particular joints stiff, because of which we start experiencing the joint pains. So if you are a person who do the desk job, I would recommend to get up from the place every 1 or 2 hour. Just stand, if walking is not possible, just standing for 1 or 2 minutes and then doing some stretches of your hands and leg, even that will be one of the good help for your joints. Okay. So joint pain doesn't happen like in one day. It is a slow damage. So gradually you will see a progress in joint pain. Initially there will be some episode, and if you ignore those symptoms or the signs and you keep on continuing your poor lifestyle, then you will see one day this has converted into an aggravated pain, a joint pain, right? And when your habits are not changing, when you are stick with that bad habits, automatically this all joint pain may end up with some or the other injuries, right? So to prevent your body from such injuries, I would recommend that you focus at this stage, wherever you are, at whatever age you are, whatever you're doing, enhance your lifestyle at least by 10%. You will surely experience some change into your bone health and your joint health. Okay. And then gradually you can add on the different activities. Okay. Next, now let's go and understand more about the inflammation. As I said, inflammation is the internal fire that keeps our body warm, protected from multiple other foreign materials, right? So the food is getting well digested because there is a fire inside our body. So little inflammation is there in your body, or that fire is there, that's a good inflammation, and that's helping in the healing process to absorb all the nutrients, to digest everything, right? But this inflammation, when it's increased gradually, you will start experiencing pain. And why this pain increases, or why this fire increases? Because of four things. Number one, when we have junk food. What is junk food? Anything that is highly processed, too much of oil has been added, too much of salt has been added for the preservation, too much of sugar is added for the taste, right? And added a lot of preservatives are added, some chemicals are added to keep that product in the market for ages, so that people can purchase at any time at their convenience. That junk food becomes harmful for our body, and it aggravates the inflammation. See, having once in a while, accept it, because there is a event, there is a occasion, going out and meeting friends after a month or so, then it's fine. But if things are coming daily or very often in a week, that means it will surely get converted into inflammation, because your body doesn't accept anything foreign in nature. If anything that has lots of chemical, anything man made is there where lots of chemical is added, or extra amount of fat or extra amount of sugar or salt is added, it will surely not accept, because these all extras are load on your body. So when your body is experiencing so much of load, body has to work extra vigorously to digest these all things and to separate the toxins out of it, right? So when this keeps on happening for longer duration, some or the other time your body will stop responding, and this all will get accumulated inside your body. And once it get accumulated, you will start experiencing the pain, the inflammation. Okay, so that's the reason junk foods or any food which is highly processed or too much extras things are added into it, keep it very occasional and away from your body. Okay, number 2, when you eat late night, what is happening when you eat late night? So if you see, after dinner there is no physical movement. We go to bed and we lie down, right? We go to sleep. There is nothing that we choose vigorously to keep ourselves active. So because of that, the digestion is naturally very low or slow at night time. The metabolism is sluggish at the night time, right? So when you have a heavy meal in which there is a lot of oil, or in which there is a lot of masalas added into it, a lot of creams are added into it, or it is a dessert, or maybe having just a namkeen kind of snacks where a lot of sodium has been added, what all things happen over here? Your body is digesting these all heavy items throughout your sleep cycle. Because throughout the sleep cycle you are digesting this meal, your sleep quality will be affected, and next morning you will feel tired, heavy, sluggish, low in energy, irritated, no focus at all, right? You might experience some acidity also in the early morning stage. What you have consumed one night prior will surely affect the next day morning, right? So specifically, why consuming dinner early is important, so that there is a good gap of 2 to 3 hours between your sleep hours and dinner, so that all the food is well digested. And what your body will do during the sleep hours, only the healing work and removing the waste from your body, the toxins from your body. If you give your body emptiness in the sleep cycle, when your stomach is completely empty, the digestion has been complete, and your body is in a dormant state, then and then only your cells, your liver will become active and starts detoxifying the toxins from your body, right? So when every toxins are going out of your body, your inflammation is reducing, therefore there won't be any sort of joint pain. But if the toxin stays inside your body, toxins has tendency to go to corners and stick around it. So if you see high sodiums are being consumed, or too much acidity producing foods we are consuming, then it and you are consuming less amount of water, then high acid levels in your body will go and get accumulated in the joints, leading to even uric acid, right? So that could be one of the reason for the joint pain. Number 3, stress. Whenever you experience any sort of stress, there is an hormone that is releasing, which is cortisol. Now cortisol, if it's released for short period time and it's making you complete your certain task, then it's a good way. But if the cortisol has been released at wrong timing in an excess amount, then also it has an impact on your body. So stress doesn't mean only a mental stress. Stress could be the physical also. If you are a person who is sitting in a wrong posture, okay, and your spine is experiencing a pressure on each other vertebrae, then also your joints will be under a pain. Okay, if you are a person who is doing a lot of work where you have to take certain heavy items and walk up or down, or pass on to one place to another place, you are doing things very vigorously, so you that is also creating some stress on your joints. Okay, in even a household chores, whatever we do, whether it's a cleaning or dusting or whatever, even over there, if you are not doing in a proper posture, that could also lead to a stress on your joints. So wrong posture, wrong movements will bring some kind of joint pains, because your joints will be under a pressure. Okay, and lastly, when there is absolute no exercise. Okay, nowadays what has happened, we are all conscious about health, we know we want to do certain things, we want to go and join certain physical activity, but because of our busy lifestyle, we ignore the health part and we focus on the wealth part a lot. So I would suggest both should run very simultaneously. Whatever the wealth you are producing is important to keep your health also, right? And if your health is healthy, then you are able to even produce more wealth. Both should go hand in hand simultaneously. So whenever you get a time, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes, a gentle stretches on your body will also help a lot in your joint pains. It can be anything, just standing on a toes and going up and down, doing certain shoulder rotations, some neck rotations, or some waist rotations, or just walking in the house itself. If you don't want to go out, it's okay, do everything at home. But using your joints will really keep your bones and joint health healthy. Okay, so what controls your fire, what controls your inflammation? Majorly the food. What type or what quality of the food you are entering your body determines what, how is your inflammation, how is the agni inside your body. Okay, so to control your inflammation, first thing is to fix your food. Okay, fine. Let's move ahead and understand foods that reduce the inflammation. Okay, this you can note it down very nicely. These are all things which are available in our kitchen. You know, need to go to any pharmacy to purchase anything. No medicine is required for your joint health and bone health. If your food is right, you require no medicines, no supplements. Okay, so number one, I think this is aged old traditional methods of healing your inflammation. Number one is turmeric. Now, why turmeric? Our turmeric contains a bioactive component which is curcumin, and that has a tendency to reduce the inflammation. What happens when there is inflammation? There is pain. When the pain keeps on aggravating, there will be a swelling, right? सूजन रहेगी. So when there is a swelling, you need to reduce, bring down that swelling, bring down that pain. So curcumin, which is present inside the turmeric, is excellent source to reduce any sort of swelling in your body. Okay, just add little pinch of black pepper along with turmeric, so yeah, so that your curcumin become activated and it's well absorbed in your body. Okay, number two, ginger. One of the best thing to reduce the pains. Okay, because ginger contains gingerol, which is an active component, bioactive component that helps in balancing your pain. Okay, number three, fruits and vegetables. One of the best sources of your vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants. Now, what antioxidant means? Antioxidant means anything that is oxidized inside your body, which is harmful substances, will be removed out if you are adding antioxidant foods into your diet. So, okay, so all the varieties of your fruits, more the colorful fruits are, more the variety of your food, more the seasonal fruits you are consuming and vegetables you are consuming, more you will get the antioxidant into your diet. They are the one which fight back all the harmful substances very well. Okay, number four is nuts and seeds. Nuts contains slight oil also, right? It contains it's like a lubricant for your joints. That's the reason it prevents from the damage. How damage happens? When there is a friction in your bones. If your joints are becoming weak, your joint and bone is having some friction, then there will be a damage. So to prevent that damage, an oil, a lubricant is required, which is the nuts and seeds. So all varieties of nuts and seeds you can introduce. Just be cautious if you are a overweight or a obese person. Okay, that time you have to control the amount. But if you are a healthy person who wants to focus on your joint health, you should surely add nuts and seeds into your diet every single day. Okay, now, and number five, which is last, is good fats. Fats are the one which lubricates the joint. as I talked about nuts and seeds also, they are the one which reduces damage, because you get little omega 3 also from these seeds and nuts. So because of that, along with the lubrication, it is also reducing the inflammation. So good fats is basically like a fuel to that particular joint to lubricate it. Okay, so good fats will be like your ghee, or your anything made from a milk, like a makhan, homemade makhan. These are like good source of fats. This fats will really act like a lubricant for your joints. Okay, so what will reduce your inflammation or pain? Food will reduce your inflammation and pain, and not the painkillers or the medicines. These are all temporary results that gives you. But if you want to heal from the root cause, then you have to always apply and consume the food sources. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. There are a few questions that have come so far on the comment section. I'll take them quickly and then we'll move ahead. Okay. Rashika ji says, my mother had a femur surgery, due to which she was bedridden for 6 months, and now she is back on her feet. She's been suffering chronic upper back and shoulder pain all the time. How can we treat? Over here, multiple things are responsible. Since she already has undergone a surgery, her appetite must have gone down post the surgery, right? So focus on introducing the variety into the meal, specifically proteins, calcium, checking the vitamin D, giving her good sunlight, making sure there is good leafy vegetable in her diet to get the vitamin K. Make sure there are good fats into her diet, like nuts, seeds, ghee into her diet, so that her joints are lubricated. Tell her not to sit in one position, in one posture for longer duration. Keep the movement more. She'll give a subtle movement to her neck and shoulder. More it will be helpful for the particular joints. And secondly, give little bit of movement to her body, like a gentle stretch, not like a bigger stretches, just like a neck rotations, looking up, down, sideways, and making sure that your shoulders are going up, down, rotating in circular motions. Little bit of stretches also will help her to come out of that stiff posture. Okay, currently just do this, because just 6 months prior she has come out of the surgery. Gradually focus on her diet and her movements. Okay, fine. And if she has any sort of vitamins or mineral deficiency, please cure that. Okay. One person is asking, what about tomatoes and some leafy vegetable with high oxalates impact on joint health? Tomatoes, of course, anything that is sour in nature will increase the acidity in your body. And oxalates are also one which usually binds with the calcium, and they form certain stones in our body. But if you are hydrating very well, and your frequency of these foods are very less, then it's absolutely fine. Specifically the sour items, make sure you reduce as much as possible, or consume in a very diluted version, and no need to add into all the recipes. Leafy vegetable can be kept once or twice a week to get little vitamin K and other vitamins. Okay, and focus on the other sources that will help your joint pain. Okay. um Okay, there is one person who's asking about alkaline water and joint pain. So, alkaline water is nothing but it is, we have naturally, or we have reduced the pH of that water, and that becomes less, no, it becomes suitable for our gut and entire body. So, alkaline water not need to purchase it from out and then consume it on regular basis. Your simple regular water, if you boil it very nicely and strain it, and add whatever infused seeds you want to add, like a chia seeds or sabja seeds, they'll be a cooling thing for your body. Okay, make sure you are not adding any food sources which are inflammatory in nature, that will aggravate the heat. Then everything will be fine. There is no need to just focus on having alkaline or the plain water or any other water. Simple home water, if you boil it very nicely, strain it and consume that water throughout the day, good 2 to 3 liters, that is more sufficient for your body. Okay, fine. One more thing, a person has asked, I myself get cracking sound during joint rotation exercise. Shall I be worried? Worried as in, first do some blood check and see vitamin D, calcium, iron, and magnesium, vitamin K, everything is fine or not. See your protein levels, your muscle mass. Basically, you can do some body composition and see if your muscle mass has reduced. If these all things are seen, then start balancing your meal. Make sure your every meal there is a protein into your diet. Make sure you fix your vitamin D. Make sure you fix your calcium levels. If your calciums are fine but vitamin D is not in a good range, then how much ever you eat your calcium, it's not going to get absorbed in your body because D is missing. So for fix your vitamin D, have your calciums very well. Everything should be food source initially, and then gradually see how, if it's too worsen case, then you can take a support of a supplement, but preferably go for a food source. Only in terms of vitamin D, if it's very low, then you can start with the supplementation, and simultaneously you can soak yourself in sunlight, because there is no good source for this apart from sunlight. Okay, so this you can practice and see how you feel better. uh, and also, while doing some physical activity, don't give too much of pressure or too much of don't do vigorous activities. Do very gentle initially, at least for those parts. Okay. Muktaji says, my body is very stiff. This was not so some years back. I'm unable to bend forward or backward. Anything I can do to get rid of it besides the daily stretching schedule? Okay. Okay, fine. So, when daily stretches, if you are doing it like a yoga you are adding, or you're doing any sort of physical activity, along with that a diet is also equally important. 80% diet is important and 20% physical activity every day is important. This two simultaneously should go. So in terms of diet, as mentioned, for everyone, we Indians are very poor in protein intake. We do have good sources, but we are still not consuming it to the sufficient to meet the daily requirement, right? So first thing, have every meal in which there is a protein, right from breakfast, lunch, dinner. Every meal should have a protein source. Number two, as mentioned, make sure there is good fibers so that your fats will go out of your body. Focus on your weight also. Try to reduce your weight if things are affecting your body. If there is too much of stiffness, that means the movements are being missing. Specifically, we do certain stretches, but we don't focus on each and every joints, right? So if you remember, if you know that whenever we start with yoga stretches, we do some Sahaj Bhav asanas. Sahaj Bhav asanas are like the gentle stretches which we focus on each and every joints. So when you do each and every joint movement, you are releasing the stiffness. See whether your bed is right, the bed sheet, the bed that you sleep on, if it's in right condition, it's not too hard or too soft, even that will be helpful for your stiffness. If there is dehydration, because of that also stiffness comes. If there is too much of sodium consumption, it will draw a lot of water in your body, leading to water retention. So there are multiple reasons for the stiffness, but just start with some good well balanced diet, and simultaneously some stretches. Okay, fine. Vishalji says, when I walk I hear some sound in thigh. Okay, so as mentioned, any joint pain that you are experiencing is because that particular joint is under a pressure, or it's the movement to that particular joint is not sufficient, or you are lacking with lot of vitamins, minerals, proteins into your diet. Okay, so let's proceed ahead and see how many sources are there that will help you in your joint pains. Number one, as I mentioned earlier, also good fats. So not only the ghee, but nuts, seeds, cold press oil, avocado, coconut, fresh coconut, the peanuts. These are like good source of fats. This will help to lubricate your joints, and avoid anything that is deep fried, too much oily things, avoid anything which is refined oils. Okay, because these all will even rupture and increase the inflammation a lot into your body. Okay, so preferably keep the good sources of fats more than the bad sources. And next is about protein, as I was mentioning now only in the comment sections. It is protein is must because it build up the muscles into your body. What is the work of muscle? This is your bones. In between there is a joint, and then there is a protecting cover for these things, this bone and joint, which is the muscle. This should be good fleshy, like a cushioning for your bones and joint. If this is shrunken, then how there will be a support for your bones and joint? Any pressure that is coming from outside, or any jerk, or any sort of friction is coming on your body, the muscles are the protective cover. If your proteins are not sufficient, your muscles will go down, it will be reduced in your body, it will shrink, right? So to keep your muscles fleshy, good, moisture rich, like a cushion, then you need to add proteins into your each meal. So the sources of all the proteins are all your varieties of dal: moong dal, masoor dal, tur dal, chana dal. Then your whole dals like your chole, rajma, chana, masoor, moong, matki. These are all good sources of proteins. Next comes your dairy products, from where you get good proteins, which is your paneer, your milk, your curd, whatever is suitable to your gut, choose that. Okay, soy products like soya and tofu, both are good sources of calcium that you can add. Along with that, uh, proteins you will find into, of course, in a non-veg source also. So anybody who is consuming non-veg can focus on eggs, or a little bit of fish, or some chicken, but make sure you're not consuming too frequent. Once or twice a week it's absolutely fine to have non-veg, but rest of the day it's important to have proteins from your veg source, because they are the one which are easily digested without putting any load on your gut compared to the non-veg. Okay, so proteins are important. After this, hydration is also equally very important. More you hydrate your body, more there will be a lubrication, cushioning to your joints. So now imagine your joint as a sponge. Okay, so when a sponge is dry, how it is, it's hard, right? But if you dip that sponge in a water and you keep, then it will be very soft. Anything that you put inside it, it will go, it will be like a protecting layer for that particular product, right? Similarly, if there is good water into your diet, water into your routine, then the joints are well lubricated with the water. It will be spongy in nature, which will create a good cushioning for your bones. Okay, but when there is this dryness in your joints, when there is dehydration in your body, then this joint becomes stiff, and because the joint becomes stiff, there is a friction with your bones, and that will lead to a stringing pain. That pain will be so sharp that you might not be able to bear also. Okay, so simple tip to maintain your hydration for your joint health is to sip the warm water, lukewarm water, whole day. Not to gulp and take two glasses in one go and then rest of the time you are not consuming water. No. Always sip the water in a gradual way and segregate the water intake throughout the day. Do not club in one go and take 1 liter of water or 2 liter of water. Segregate it. Then only your joints will get continuous supply of the water. Okay, fine. Let's proceed ahead. Now, we have talked about all the good things. What was it? It was proteins that is important for the joint pains. Hydration is important for the joint pains, and the food list that I have given you, that they are also responsible for your better joint health, like turmeric, ginger, and many more things, nuts and seeds. Good fats is also equally important for your joint health. Okay, now let's understand the foods which worsen the case of your joints. Okay, so number one is the sugar. Sugar is in general a slow poison for multiple health conditions. What sugar does is, when it's excess in your body, it it starts to ferment, or it has a tendency to convert itself into an acidic form. So when it is converted into an acidic form, this too much of acid in the body will start and erode the bones outer covering. So if you see your tooth, basically, there is a smooth coating on your tooth, right? So when there is a friction on your tooth, what will happen? The coating will go off. Similarly, the bones, the joints are loaded with good calcium, phosphorus, and all the good material, right? Now, when the sugar is too much, which is acidic in the nature, that acidic sugar will start to erode your bones, your joints, and therefore your bones will become brittle, porous, and you might end up with even osteoporosis and arthritis. Right? So sugars, you have to be very careful. And sugar doesn't means the only white sugar that you get in your that you keep in the kitchen in a bottle. Sugar comes from multiple other sources. For example, all the processed items, your desserts, the breakfast cereal items that you get from outside, the biscuits that you consume, the bread that you consume, chocolates that comes in a market, everything has a low sugar load inside it, and the quality of the sugar becomes poorer and more like chemically made. So more of sugar alcohols are added into the recipes rather than added direct sugars. Your cakes and your pastries, your ice creams are loaded with sugars. So having occasionally one or two things, accepted, but if it's there in your daily diet, if you're adding loaded white sugars also into your tea and coffee and whatnot, then somehow unnecessarily extra sugar is going in your body, specifically in the hidden way. We don't read the packaging material, we don't flip and read the names of sugars, right? We just focus that it's written high fiber healthy product, let's buy it. No, what's the reality is always at the backside of the product. So read the ingredient, what has been mentioned. Words like maltodextrin, sucralose, maltose, dextrose, high fructose corn syrup, invert sugar, glucose syrup, these are all chemically made sugars which are inflammatory for our body. So sugar usually increase the inflammation in the body, which can worsen the joint pain. Okay. Number two is the bakery item. All the bakery items have maida inside them, and a lot of poor quality of oil is being used, like palm oil, dalda, vanaspati, hydrogenated fats, which are trans fats in nature. They are also worsening for our body because it increases more of fats in our body, and if fat starts accumulating in your body, you will start gaining weight. Same goes with fried items. You will keep on having these all fried items, uh, which has a lot of oil, and you will gain your weight, and that sudden gain in your weight will have a pressure on your joints, leading to the joint pain. Okay, so try to avoid sugary items, fried items, or any item made from maida, which has a lot of loaded sugars, or dalda, vanaspati, and poor qualities of fats or chemicals are added inside it. And lastly, anything packaged product which are rich in sodium, like they are loaded with sodium. Your chips, a lot of salts are added into it. Your taste maker masalas that you get in the market, a lot of sodium is added into it. Anything that is a chatpata or namkeen kind of thing will have a lot of sodium added into it, so that that product stays in the market for longer duration, right? So that sodium will again rupture or erode your bones or joints coating. Okay, and it also leads to a lot of water retention in the body, that bring a lot of swelling in our body, on our face, and makes us feel very heavy and tired and sluggish. So try to avoid packaged fried bakery items, sugary items, because all the pain that starts doesn't starts because there is lack of movement. It is also because there is something wrong that you're eating in your own kitchen, right? So focus, right thing, choose right quality, right quantity of the food, and at right proportion, you will surely see good changes into your joint pain. Okay, fine. Now, along with the diet, as I mentioned, 80% is something that you get from your diet, but 20% we rely on the movement. More the joints are moved, more there is a walking, stretching, yoga, gentle strength training also. So if you're doing walking every day, you're doing yoga every day, but there is no strength training into your routine, even that will lead to a pain in your body, because your body, your muscle needs to develop, and they will enhance or they will gain their weight only when you do certain strength training. Challenges are something your body always like to accept. More the challenging task you will do in terms of exercise, more your muscles, your joints, your bones will become stronger. Okay, specifically the muscle health will become better, which will keep the bone health and joint health very intact. Okay, just avoid sitting on a position for longer hours. No sitting for 5 hours, 4 hours, and then experiencing pain in your back and neck. Make sure that every 1 hour you just stand from that place, stand and do some movement, whether you want to go for a washroom break or take a call while walking, or go for a staircase rather than elevators. Make sure there is a constant movement into your body. You are while we sit, we can just tap our feet up and down. We can make our heels go high and low, high and low. That is also a good stretch to your complete hamstrings, right? Making sure that you bend down, then you do side stretches whenever you sit on a chair. Any sort of stretch, any sort of movement, any sort of small breaks, if you can do every hourly or every 2 hourly at least, will be one of the helpful thing. Okay, and lastly, avoid sudden intense workout. Even that is very bad. It's something like now December has crossed, January has come, I'll start my workout journey from the January, and whole year you didn't do anything. So on the day one we get motivated and we do extra kind of workout. Day two again extra, and then your body will start soaring, there will be a pain and aches, and you will feel like forget it, I'll go after 2 3 day, and then after 2 3 day going will never happen, right? So if you do sudden intense workout, then it will be a bad for your body. But if you gradually increase the intensity, then it will keep your muscle, joint, bone health, everything intact. Okay, so movement is must. And with this whole whatever we have discussed so far, we have come up to the conclusion that these all theoretical thing we need to apply. Until and unless you don't apply, you will not get an understanding that this is practical and this is how it feels when you do certain things. So what you have to do this week you have to do very three simple tasks. One is you have to do certain movement, of movement that is pain free. Okay, number two, add any anti-inflammatory food into your diet. If you remember on a slide in an inflammation section, complete food pointers I have mentioned: turmeric, ginger, nuts and seeds, healthy good fats, right, water. So any of the thing you can choose and add into your diet every day. But when I'm asking you to add turmeric and ginger into your diet, doesn't mean in the cooking recipe, means having that in a raw or a pure form, like adding into a lukewarm water, mixing it up and then drinking to get its direct bioactive components, right? Or making a instant ginger tea without any tea powder, and then you are having that ginger, or you chewing the ginger, the active component will go inside your body, and that's what is more important to reduce the inflammation. And number three, what you have to do is move gently for 10 minutes or skip the sugary snacks from your routine. So eat anti-inflammatory food, do the movements for 10 minutes every day, at least 10 minutes. If you can go till 30 minutes and 45 minutes and 1 hour, one of the best thing, but start with at least 10 minutes movement. And lastly, skip any sugary snacks if it's there in your house. This will really help to focus on reducing the inflammation and improvising your pains. Okay, if you're doing this all, and you will, if you like to show your journey to others and inspire, you can tag the Times Health Plus, and you can also get a chance to win the wellness goodies. Okay, so do not forget to follow us on Times Health Plus. With this, let's start with the Q&A session, and whatever queries you have, you can put in the comment section. We can briefly discuss about it. Okay, few have come. One says, if we replace sugar with jaggery, does that help reducing inflammation? Absolutely not. So all your honey, jaggery, sugar, all three has same amount of sugar, same amount of calories. Okay, what's the difference between three? Sugar is highly refined, jaggery has little bit iron inside it, little minerals you will find, and honey has little minerals inside it. So because of that, they become little medicinal or healthy. Since they're medicinal, you should have in a little proportion. But if you're having daily and replacing sugar with a jaggery with a good big chunk, then somehow it's not going to be helpful. So only add jaggery and honey in particular recipes where it is really required. For example, gajar ka halwa. Since it was a winter season, we all love to have gajar halwa. So over there, of course, instead of using sugar, if you're using jaggery in little proportion, then it's acceptable because it's seasonal. One should enjoy the delicacies of Indian cuisine. So please do that. Let's not restrict us that's so much. Okay, so but if it's coming on daily basis in terms of chai, coffee, then better you avoid it. Okay, fine. Another question is, ma'am, I'm not taking sugar in tea or coffee, but I take some raisins and figs. Will this also harm me? Okay, so raisins and figs, natural source of fruit that has been dehydrated, and you're consuming that. It's good laxative also for our body, good for your constipation. They can be consumed because it contains certain vitamins, minerals, fiber inside it. Okay, along with little carbs. But if you see sugars, they are highly refined, has zero calories. Zero calories as in has empty calories. You're not gaining any good thing from that. But from raisins and figs, you gain something good. It is a good fiber for your body, which helps to reduce the constipation in your body. So yes, you can consume them. Again, the proportion is very important. Having one or two anjeer a day, or just little handful of black raisins in a day, accepted. But if it's going more, then it's going to be harmful. Okay, fine. Anish G says, hello ma'am, last week you said coffee and milk are viruddha ahar, then why is this famous? Also, my maternal grandpa lived 83 years of healthy life. Milk based jaggery coffee is sugar jaggery in milk matter? Okay, first of all, your grandpa who lived 83 years, if you see his history, he must have done a lot of physical activity along with his diet, right? Because of which the coffee that he took or tea that he took, in which the sugar like jaggery was there, milk was there, must have not contributed that badly to his body, because he was a person who must be always in movement, like doing some farming work or going to an office, doing some vigorous activities. Now our lifestyle has become more sedentary, right? Because of which there is lack of movement in our body. So whatever food we are consuming, of course it's converting into an energy. That energy is not getting used up, instead it's going in a storage. That's the reason our lifestyle has impacted. So in such lifestyle, if you taking a tea and coffee once a day, fine. But if you're taking 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups, 5 cups a day, you are reducing your appetite, you are increasing the acidity level in your body, and more the acids in your body, more there will be a pain in your joints and aches. Okay, so that's the reason. I'm not saying you should stop taking tea and coffee. Of course we are taking since so long years and generation to generation. No one can leave this beverage. I would just say enhance it. Take once a day, and rest of the day, whenever you get the craving, replace this tea and coffee with a herbal teas. It can be any simple herbal tea like a fennel tea, ginger tea, chamomile tea, jasmine tea, hibiscus tea, or you can make your own tea at home with ginger, mint leaves, tulsi, lemongrass, boil it up, your herbal tea is ready. So replace. Choices and habits are something that is in our own hand. If that becomes better, your lifestyle will be much better. Okay, fine. Next says date powder is that the least bad sweetener. Okay, so even dates, if you consume as a natural sweet date, when you consume, it's so sugary, it's so sweet in nature. And then you make a powder or a paste out of it, it will be equally more sweeter only, right? You're increasing the surface area when you make into a powder. So if these are coming from good source, I'm not saying they are coming from a bad source, they're coming from a dates or from a coconut sugar is also nothing that has come. So good source from they are coming from, but again the proportion is something that is within our hand. A sugar, any type of sugar, should be consumed 5 grams a day, then it's healthy for your body. But we always exceed and go up to 20 grams a day, which becomes more acidic to our body. So that you have to focus upon. If you require in this recipe, then add it. But if you think that if I don't add it, still it's best for my body, still it's good for my taste, then why to add it? So that's how you have to control the quantity. Okay, fine. One more says for long hair and skin. For hair and skin, next session is being exclusively made for it, so let's wait for that. Now we will just talk about bones and joints. Okay, what to do for work concentration? Eat on time. If the energy supply is sufficient in your body, if the hydration is sufficient in your body, then your focus, your concentration will be adequate and accurate. But if you are eating very less in breakfast, or eating chai biscuit or a bread biscuit or a chai chapati, you are losing out with nutrients. As I said, every meal there should be proteins, there should be fibers coming from your vegetables, carbohydrates which are fibrous ones. If you can make meal out of these things in your breakfast, lunch, dinner, evening snacks, then you will have a steady supply of energy and your concentration will be at peak. Okay, and of course you can try out some other techniques, yogic techniques like meditation, or doing any sort of physical activity will also bring you in a focus. Okay, fine. How to remove dark circle? Okay, so hydrate well, I would say. It's all because there is a lot of screen time, there is poor hydration in the body. It leads to the dark circles. So best is to control your screen time for it. Okay, dark chocolate 85%, absolutely fine. Anything beyond 75% of dark chocolate becomes bitter. So, bitter things are really good for our body. It always keeps our blood circulation very well, reduce the sugars and balance the sugars in our body. So, since more the bitter dark chocolate, more it is best for the body. And again, since it's a chocolate, even if it's bitter, one piece is more than enough, not taking too much. Otherwise, acidity will be aggravated. Okay. Vishalji says, what can we do for both iron and calcium absorption in body? Uh, you have to take it from a food source. There are so many iron sources, so many calcium sources. Just keep it separate. There should be 2 hours gap between iron intake and calcium intake, because when they come together, they don't help each other to absorb in the body. So everything go for a waste. So when you're taking anything that is rich in iron, keep your calciums away. When you're taking calciums, keep your irons away. Okay. Okay. One more says, what can we do? Okay, that is done. Okay, fine. So all the questions I've answered so far. In the next session, we are going to talk about skin and hair. So there we will connect again. Every Saturday, new topics will keep on coming. Just be attentive. Make sure that you listen to all these talks and try to apply it. Okay. So with this given task, please do it and see how different you feel, how it is helping your joint health, and do come up with your own experiences in the next session. Meanwhile, eat with awareness. Take care, hydrate well. Have a happy weekend. Namaste.